This week on It's Happening Out.
Ever since I was a child, people said my family was cursed. Mom tried to protect us.
What's your reaction to the expulsion?
This morning, after serving for just under 11 months, embattled Republican Congressman George.
I won't give up for a minute, never giving up on you.
So how long do we have to do this for?
We need to build up a very strong.
It's all happening out tonight with your hosts, lesbian activist FayWhat, pansexual letter daddy Elimination, drag queen and comedian Auntie Mame, Latino muscle bear Jonathan Casanas, Gen Z political advocate Max Fenny, Gen Z bear and actor Cameron Glass, leadership coach and leather sir Mark Pettit, Indo-Caribbean artist Trinidaddy, Muslim American communications exec Kal Gajraj. It all starts right now, live on It's Happening Out.
Hello, everyone, and good evening, and welcome to It's Happening Out, the world's most popular live gay television talk show. We're broadcasting live and then on demand on Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, Amazon Fire Television, and of course, for us old folks, YouTube and Facebook. It's 9 p.m. Wednesday, December 6, 2023, and I'm your host, FayWhat.
It happens all the time.
It really does.
It's very strange.
I think it's only in this building too. Like, do you know?
Well, it only happens on this show also, which is really weird.
It's very weird.
Hotspots Happening Out magazine, Hotspots Magazine Happening Out Television Network is a nonprofit 501c3 media company in the same model of PBS and NPR, but for the LGBTQ plus community. Our mission is to support the 10 pillars of our LGBTQ plus community. We want to inform and educate the key issues of our Black community, Latino, lesbian and queer women, trans, students and youth, seniors, HIV/AIDS healthcare, business, social activism, and faith. Help us support our community. Who needs a shot?
Me.
All you folks need a shot. All right, let's play our yes or no game called I'd Swallow That. I am going to make 4 statements, and if the hosts agree, they take a shot, okay? And here we go. Here's your first one. News broke this week that the disgraced former U.S. Representative George Santos will be the subject of a new movie by HBO Films after the studio bought the rights to Mark Casanas' new book on the ex-gay lawmaker, the fabulous, the lying, hustling, grifting, stealing, and very American legend of George Santos. The book came out on November 28th and examines the myriad of lies the Republican from New York has told, from going to college to being a star athlete to where he previously worked. Question number 1, I'd swallow that. I think George Santos is going to be a star in West Hollywood.
Oh, I don't know about a star. I'm not drinking to that.
I'm drinking to that because it's only a matter of time. Netflix, HBO, whatever it is, OnlyFans, like he's going to be everywhere. This is not the last time we're going to see him.
So he's not going to be a star. He's going to be a star-rar. He's going to be a star-rar.
A star-rar.
A star-rar. Because, I'm looking for the moment where they do Derek Myers. They get that moment, that stuff where he's spilling between his legs. And I want to see where they take that. And then I want to see whose OnlyFans he was subscribing to. So I think all of that will make him a star-rar.
Okay, if he can make fun of himself, then cool, he's going to be a star.
Yeah. Yep.
But I think as a character, it's the best shit that ever happened to politics. Other than Trump. Everything he does is fucking hilarious. I can't believe he even spewed the shit that came out of his mouth. I'm really sad that SNL is no longer going to have content because he's leaving.
I hope they invite him to host SNL.
Oh, hell yeah, I'd watch. See, I'd watch that.
Totally watch that.
Maybe he'll be a star. Maybe I will drink.
I would watch that. Again, with that kind of a personality, you've got to use him somewhere else.
Yeah.
So, Desperate Housewives or just something. He's got to be
a judge on RuPaul's Drag Race.
I know.
I mean,
take away from RuPaul.
The possibilities are endless.
Award winner.
Who?
He's an Oscar award
no.
winner.
I thought that he invented the Oscar.
Right. Yeah, he wrote the Bible, didn't he? I mean,
He wrote the Bible.
But he's larger than life personality, the craziness, and I think he's gonna be like he's gonna be beyond RuPaul. He's gonna be like that true fabulosity queen.
Yeah.
That's gonna just take over the world.
You think so? I mean, listen, again, his time is limited, I think, but I mean, juice it, get the money because
absolutely.
Again, like he doesn't have a long time shelf life.
I mean, I don't want him to be like successful. I want him to be broke and like die shriveled up. But
I shriveled up, pobrecito.
I know, pobrecito, but he's a big ass liar. He took advantage of everyone. So it's like, why should we applaud it? I mean, sure, he might be a star, but I'm not gonna.
But he's Latino. But he's Latino. Are we supposed to like root on our own?
Claim him for nothing. Not a gay, not a.
But you know what's crazy though, boys? I swear I see him everywhere in Wilton. Like it's weird. I'll take a picture and send it to Cal and be like, Cal, doesn't this look like your Santos, right?
If I shaved, I'd probably look like him.
Put unos lentes on and that's it, right?
Well, he's gonna end up with his own TV show.
He is going to end up with his own TV show, and we're going to watch it.
Yeah.
Next, let's face it, gay men have a stereotypical voice. Sort of, right? Studies have shown that people can tell the difference between a gay man and a straight man just by their voice. But why? Gay Science by Rob Anderson has put forth a rational theory. Gay men congregate in earthquake zones, allowing them to harness the energy that gets transmitted through their vocal cords. Other gay men can detect the vibrations, but straight men are notoriously bad listeners. Well, anyway, that's the theory. Watch this.
This is Gay Science. In today's episode, why do gay men talk like that? The gay voice.
Saturday by night.
You can recognize it instantly.
And you're like, I love it.
Like, people still call me ma'am on the phone.
Away from you.
But what's the science behind this distinct vocal effect?
Eat shit!
Because they often congregate in earthquake zones, gay men harness a lot of energy. Excess energy that isn't spent relaying local drama passes to the vocal cords to initiate a high-frequency vibration. It's a pitch that all people can hear, but only gay men and Dolly Parton can understand, and it provides helpful subtext beyond what's actually being said. Sometimes these high-pitched sounds pass through the mouth into a lisp, caused by fagata dentata. This variety of gay voice is an elite form of communication, like echolocation in dolphins, and can throw sounds up to 10,000 miles away. Unfortunately, all men are bad listeners, so these messages are lost on them and are received exclusively by Dolly Parton, who's been quietly managing the chaos of hearing the voice of every gay man for decades.
Poor Dolly Parton, she's busy. Question number 2, I'd swallow that. I embrace science and agree they have finally proved why gay men talk like that.
I don't know about this research, but
it's fun research.
It is fun research, so I'm going to drink to it. But I do feel there's some occasions where the gay voice is a little, made up.
Made up.
Okay.
Yes.
You definitely see, even like with Paris Hilton, like now, she's in interviews now that she's the mom, and everyone's like, what happened to your voice? And she was like, well, it was a made up voice. It was just a character.
Let me tell you. If we didn't have that voice, we wouldn't fuck. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
If I wanted someone to know that I was gay in a public setting, I would be like, work, bitch. And all of a sudden, that gay person would be like, whoop.
Ooh,
okay.
Uh-huh.
And then now we can lock eyes, and now we can go into the bathroom, into the handicap stall.
And go at it.
Blow chunks.
And so I am that straight man who don't pay attention until we're in bed and you make that hot pitch sound. Then I know my job is done for the rest of the day.
Right.
Mission achieved. I can walk around with a big old chest now because I've done something.
God.
So I only listen for the hot pitch voice.
You only listen to that. But again, you have to get to that point before knowing it, right?
But that's the goal. That's the achievement. I can meet him, like you said. We'll meet. He can say those two fabulous words.
And that's it.
But I don't know, because also this
Right.
this is my voice, and I know I don't have the deepest voice, but on Queer News Tonight I do have a little bit of a TV voice. But
A TV
voice. But this is how I sound like all the time. But
Not me, though.
I don't know.
No, okay, so I've got a gay boyfriend of mine that does customer service, right? And he says that he butches up his voice for work.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so he says his effeminate voice is his voice and that he needs to deepen it for work because he doesn't feel that people take him seriously on the other end.
Well, I think it's code switching in gay world. So you got to play the game depending on the situation that you're in. So if you're in the thugged out place, you can't go in really being very flamboyant because then you stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
However, if you're hanging out with George Santos and the whole Will Man crew, then your voice can be and it's proper and it's okay. And if you're selling something, then you have to lower your registry because people will take it a little bit more seriously.
See, but I get made fun of this all the time. Like if I'm with my brother or my dad, I get real butch. Like I get Miami.
Really?
And Chris cannot stand it. He's like, why you change up?
I do not know that I change up. But if I'm with my drag queen friends,
That's it, bitch. What?
I mean, there's a time and a place. It's not like I'm at work on a Teams call and be like, yes, girl, words. You know, like that's not happening.
But you can think about it. Today we were all, before the show, I said, you bitch is crazy. Like I would never in a normal conversation say that ever.
Yeah,
or
that's not really you.
even at work. Like you could be a part of the family, meaning one of their letters.
Yeah.
But when we at work, I need you to tone it down. Like keep the letters outside of our professional arena, because again, this is where we are. Regardless of how you live, and maybe that's my own internal baggage.
Yes.
And so I don't, and it very much may be. But I'm like, I don't need to hear about the Beyonce. I don't want all of us singing Beyonce as we driving somewhere.
Yeah.
Let's focus on the task at hand.
We're not friends.
That sounds like that part.
We're not friends.
You have summed up that exactly right. That's
no, but he's at work and he's not. It's not like he's not gay at work. It's just I'm at work and I want to do my job and get the hell out, and that's it.
Sure.
You know?
I just don't like. I like to change up when it comes naturally. I don't want you to be extra for the sake of being extra.
Yes.
And like blow up my spot at work if I'm like undercover or whatever.
No, I got you.
I definitely don't want to like impose anything on you. If that's how you want to be, then that's how you should.
Then go right ahead. But it's weird when your friend all of a sudden changes voices and you're like, who the fuck is this?
Like,
you know what I mean?
Like where that voice come from? Like, who is that? Like,
All right.
You want to put whose attention you trying to get?
Right, exactly. That ain't for me, right? I don't want your voice like that.
Like, hey, Jonathan.
Yeah, my pussy.
Next, this season's socially conscious pop anthem comes from a very different trio than you're probably imagining. Won't Give Up, which is streaming now on major platforms, is a collaboration between cello legend Yo-Yo Ma, climate-conscious drag performer Pattis Gania, and Quinn Christopherson, a transgender singer-songwriter. Atna Athabaskan, right? I think that's how I got her name, okay? All right, and is from the Inupiaq, right? Inupiaq descent. Okay, the song is about not giving up on this planet and not giving up on each other. Watch this.
Fire of time. How do we stay strong, stay kind? We don't have to say goodbye. Don't say goodbye. I saw you burning up in the night.
Question 3, I'd swallow that. Yo-Yo Ma's new song, Won't Give Up, with drag queen and indigenous trans musician, gives me pride.
Finally, the drink.
Absolutely.
Like, give me a
drink. I'll take it.
How beautiful is that? It's about not giving up on each other or giving up on this planet. I mean, we're constantly fighting and screaming because of our LGBTQ rights, and we should. But many of us forget about the planet. The planet is in freaking danger, folks, you know?
And the fact that they have someone, an indigenous person, that's going to talk about Mother Earth, that's going to actually realize the importance of how Mother Earth has given back to us and how we have neglected her for so long. That to me is the most beautiful part, and the fact of the blending of our drag sibling, the indigenous, and Yo-Yo Ma, like all that entire platform is amazing. But did anyone else hear the Bee Gees in there? Was there only me that heard the Bee Gees?
I'll tell you what I heard, which was great because it's a very universal song, like track, like it's not specific to a region. It was very like Coldplay, U2. These like are like they are, what do you call that? What's that international song contest? Univision. It's very Univision.
Not Univision. Or Eurovision. Univision is a Latino station.
Eurovision. I think it's a cute song.
Yeah, it's very
peaceful. Bopping to it, but the meaning behind it, and obviously the collaboration is huge. It's very beautiful.
The collaboration is amazing because when I saw this, even for the fact that Yo-Yo Ma is being a part of it, like he's a very respected member of the classical music scene. He's performed for 10 U.S. presidents, and I want to say he's won like 19 or 20 Grammys. Like he's a big deal.
He's a big deal.
He's a big deal in the classical field.
Aren't we up for like a We Are the World? Like when I was a kid, we had the Dionne Warwick song. That's what friends are for. And we had We Are the World. Like we had some major big come together, let's sing this corny song together kind of hit. And we haven't had anything like that in a while.
Chorus, absolutely.
Because that shit doesn't work no more. I know it's sad. It's sad.
No, you're right.
But I was just thinking this with Chris the other day. I was like, some
with your
things don't
fiance,
work.
Chris.
My fiance. Beyonce, excuse me. I just feel like there's certain comedies that don't work. There's certain like, feel good, like hold hands, kumbaya moments don't work no more. Like we need to find a new way to kind of reach the people because everyone finds everything corny.
Yeah.
Everyone finds everything a little far reached, like for the senses. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where I'm I'm not doing that. That's cringe.
I think you should write a song
about the world, about Mother Earth, and how we're raping her and pillaging her, and we're being awful to her.
Okay, Viking, relax.
No.
But the crazy thing about all of this is so I refound Carol Burnett. And Carol Burnett, her biggest thing was about pollution and saving the planet. So imagine we've been fighting this battle for so long, and so that's another reason that this kind of touched me. I'm like, a different method, a different take on a variety of different folks. Because to your point, Yo-Yo Ma is recognized all over. Although I may not be a classical person, I know who Yo-Yo Ma is. Immediately, you're like, okay, let me take a moment and allow that feel good. But I do think we can have a We Are the World moment, but we need a good cause. Like we need something that's not.
And the planet is not good.
Well, you know what? Because again, people are so selfish. It's got to be more specific. And a lot of folks nowadays are very self-centered. They're very for me and my community. And until we find a way to address the global, and I'm not sure where it will be, and I hate that maybe after the election, I pray that won't be the catalyst, but we may get to that point where when a lot more than one community is suffering, will that opportunity come? And I think that's the point where we're going to have it.
Yeah, I sure hope so. Because again, like John said, the song is catchy and there's something about it, so let's hope, okay? Next, the development of modern men's underwear began in the 19th century with the introduction of the first commercially available style. In the 50s and 60s, men's underwear started to become more about fashion with bright colors and bold patterns. In the 1980s, designer brands began to enter the market and underwear got even sexier. There was a cultural shift in how men's bodies were shown through ads and pop culture. Underwear ads were more about the body and the bulge. We are showing you a few vintage male underwear ads. I understand from my gay boys, they looked at the ads for many other reasons. Wah, 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 wah. Question number 4, I swallow that. The original gay porn was vintage male underwear ads. Is that
I get the drink
boys?
again.
Woohoo! Woohoo!
No, yeah, for older folks, for sure.
For older folks.
Yo!
Cheers to that, to older folks.
Wow.
We don't have underwear ads.
Hold on. And since he's coming at you like that, Elimination, let's have a moment and say happy birthday,
Happy
Jonathan.
birthday.
Happy birthday,
Turning 45 over the weekend.
Yes.
You old ass bitch talking about you. Last week you was talking about how you was breaking down and your shit didn't work and your arm didn't work. How's your fucking arm down, bitch?
Oh, so I'm not familiar with
true.
International Male, and I thought it was really interesting about the whole catalog, like the Sears catalog, because I remember as a kid, being going to the mall with my mom. And going to Burdine's, which was the Florida store, which is before Macy's was in Florida. And we would be shopping and then I would be like, I'll be right back. And go walk by the underwear section, all the underwear section, all the guys, the packages on the packages. So that's what I remember as a kid.
The Calvin Klein models were that was all about the border, the skimpy underwear.
When Marky Mark started with that.
Right. And then, so we did talk about International Male, and I shared with the table how International Male was a big thing during my young adult days.
Yeah. What is International Male?
So International Male was a catalog filled with all men's clothing, and it started with the tops and the top clothing tops.
Okay. They
pants,
start with
clothing
the
tops and pants. But then there were 4 or 5 pages of underwear, then another 4 or 5 pages of swimwear. And so
are those the sticky ones? Are they sticky
depending
after a while?
We're in his house. And then they had a whole nother magazine that came out with undergear. And so that's how, gay folks really bought their sexy underwear other than the Calvin Klein. From the catalog, because we had the cuts before the trunk cuts got real big. And the International Male even had a store in DC, and that was really big. And so all the prominent gay folks would go there. And I think they had one in California as well. But that's where you would get your trendy clothes, and that's where we got our nice underwear. You saw who the models are, who the bulges were, and then when you went to the bathroom, you did your moment because of the fantasies that happened.
I mean,
does the brand not exist anymore? Is it?
I think
they may get bought out by somebody else.
I think they did. Yeah, I think the store is gone. I definitely know the store.
I think underwear. I think before that time, underwear wasn't really used as a sex item. Since then,
because it was tidy whities.
Yeah, or boxers. Now, honestly, I was late to the underwear game. I just came on it. I'm wearing a jockstrap right now.
And you're loving it.
Oh damn! Hold on.
I find underwear to be so sexy.
Nice.
So
Yeah,
Hold on,
great.
hold on.
Nice.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You said you were wearing. It's your birthday.
It's
cakes.
my birthday.
Hold on. Let me glaze them cakes. I'm sorry, go ahead. I apologize.
But it makes sense. But it makes sense that this was a version of porn because it's like when girls wear a G-string. It's like right there. Like I could almost see
And you
it.
could see the little red G-string and it turns you on. You know what I had as a kid growing up? I had National Geographic.
Oh,
Because they would have the girls and they would be in girls
boobies.
and their
But their
boobies would
boobies.
be out and they would be
I had National-
and they would be
I
part,
had
and they would
National
be,
Geographic,
and they would be
yes.
part of certain tribes and I'd
Yes.
be like, yeah, super educational.
I was very concerned about where that conversation was going with National Geographic.
So
I'm like,
tell you-
I didn't even think about that.
Oh, let me just share. Now I realize my father was a little creepy because he had the whole magazine, whole subscription in National Geographic. And so you're right. That's what we would go look at. And all of like the boobies, they were free and they were just like laying low. And I was like,
low.
and they were beautiful, but they were sexy.
Yeah.
They were so beautiful, and there was no shame, and it was free.
Yeah.
And every now and again, you could see a little ding ding because they could just the men would be.
Can you just imagine my parents looking at me with a National Geographic going, "Ay, qué linda, she's trying to learn some stuff. How nice, right?" I'm just like, what
She's
page
so smart.
What page are the titties on? You know?
She's trying to broaden her horizon. She's going to places beyond her reach right now. Yeah.
You're pretty and smart.
Look at me.
And she is now, look.
Now I'm just pretty.
No, you're smart
So,
too.
folks, that's I'd Swallow That. Next
book
up
said
is our segment that we call the best thing of the week. And who doesn't like a good wrestling match?
Yes.
Good wrestling match with some oil, some pineapples.
What's happening?
I don't know.
Pineapple.
That's food porn, yes.
Throughout the press tour for their upcoming wrestling biopic, the Iron Claw stars Zac Efron, Jeremy Allen White, and Harris Dixon have had an iron group on their throats, on our throats. It looks like they're not letting up anytime soon. Fans know by now how Efron, White, and Dickinson had to seriously bulk up to play the Von Erichs. What caught the attention of It's Happening Out was the body hair. There was one crucial step for them to get into character: the full body shave. And it sounds like the co-stars were more than happy to help each other out with that. And by that, we mean shaving the entire body of each other together, everything from top to bottom. This week, the stars talked about shaving with each other, and the anticipation is certainly high for the movie. But at this point, gays are more interested in the behind-the-scenes videos like this one. Watch this.
Ever since I was a child, people said my family was cursed. Mom tried to protect us with God. Pop tried to protect us with wrestling. He said if we were the toughest, the strongest, nothing could ever hurt us. I believed him. We all did.
Morning.
Pants tomorrow, please, David.
Carrie, I want you to join your brothers in the ring.
Yes, sir. I love that.
Now, we all know Carrie's my favorite, then Kev, then David, then Mike. But the rankings can always change.
What do you want in life, Kevin Von Erich?
More ribs?
I want to be with my family. Be with my brothers.
What do you like to do with your brothers?
Together, we can do anything.
We're here to restore justice to the Wrestling Federation that our father built with his own two hands. The hands that were passed down to us. The hands that will deliver the Iron Claw to you.
So what do you think? Like we're alive.
I love your family, Kevin.
Hi, this looks amazing. The best thing of the week, I wish I could have watched Zac Efron and Iron Claw stars shave their entire bodies together. What do you
Hell
think?
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I've been a huge fan of Zac Efron. Like, he's always been one of those, like, Hollywood crushes.
Since High School Musical?
Since High
Please don't
School
tell me that.
Musical.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I don't know. Like, how old was I? You know, like.
I don't know. How uncool were you? How about that?
No, High School Musical was very cool.
It was cool, but if you look back on it, you're like, yikes.
I mean, looking back at it now, but I mean,
Let me
back
tell you
then,
something.
yeah.
I prefer hair. Like, I don't shave ever. I hope my man never shaves.
You like hairy? You like hairy?
Yeah.
The hairier the better?
The hairier the better.
Okay.
But to watch Zac Efron and his boys shave each other, I am down. Like,
Right?
shave it. like lather each other up.
I'm so glad that I'm not the only one. Like, I want to put it like on mute. I don't even need to hear them, right? And I just watch them. My own.
Just like watch them. Like
I want to hear like a.
So there's an entire kink built around this situation.
Tell me more.
Is there really?
Where we have barbers come in and like really like you can shave the pubic hair, like the chest hair, the beards, and like people would really have moments of the sensitivity of touching someone's face, the intensity of gripping their face, the whole sensuality of like as you move it, looking in their eyes. When I did massage and did those kind of things.
You did massages too?
When I did,
what? Are you boys listening? There's a show going on right here, boys.
Right, it's okay.
He was touching my face. I could see what it felt like.
I've done grooming, because a good submissive likes to be groomed and taken care of.
Can you start that comment again? Hold on. Let's start elimination again. When he worked as a masseuse.
When I did massage,
shave people.
I would groom their private areas, just to kind of give that moment. Of course it was.
You like give them a little fade.
That moment of just like having that attention being played to that sensitive areas.
Interesting.
That attention to detail, that whole making you feel special. It's a whole kink to watch, and then you get turned on by watching how the reaction from the top to the bottom and how that interaction plays out. It's how the whole true scene works, and people want to feel that. That's a whole nother level of sensuality that folks I don't think often get to. And that's why as men, we think about when you put your hands on, think about all the men at the table, you may know, when you put your hands on your barber chair, and as he's moving you around, does his penis touch your hand? Do you move your hand in such a way? Like all of that plays a part.
Yep.
Do you look in the eyes? That's very
Well, let me tell you something. So we go to this new barbershop here in the area, and I'm not going to name it.
He doesn't wear underwear, does he?
But my fiance went and got his haircut with this one person, and this person was all over my fiance, and then he put his junk on his knee. Chris was like, "This was super crazy. I didn't know whether the beat turned on or not." Or
did he tell you, "Is this how it happens in the U.S. and I don't know it"?
I said it definitely could happen, but I usually go to straight barber, so this is a gay establishment. I don't, maybe that's just the thing. And he probably does that to everyone. So I'm like, what's the name of the barber? Hold on. So then,
research. So then
I went, and this man stood 10 feet away from me while he was shaving me.
Oh, so he didn't like you. He was into your food, not you.
So Jonah became Kevin and went to the manager like, hold on, I didn't get the same treatment. I did not get the same treatment.
I need a discount, okay? Because it's unfair that I didn't get that.
He wasn't attentive.
Get out of that place.
But can we also, I know we talk about the shaving piece, but can we also talk about the movie though? Because this movie is a movie that I think we all should kind of really take a moment to watch. I lived this era in world-class wrestling and seeing these folks. And so this story talks about the lives of gentlemen who actually took their lives because of their own drama and their own mental capacity of never being good enough.
Did you just tell us how the movie ends? Did you just tell us how?
No, I told you.
They all die, folks. They all die.
I didn't give you the nuances. I didn't give you the nuances of the story, like the trials and tribulations. And you made a joke about it, how the father said, "This was my favorite today, but it won't." And so how they deal with that reaction is very unique.
How they have to compete with each other and others.
And how we all live day to day, but how do we compete with each other? How do we outlast? How do we do what we do? How do we make money? How do we survive? How do we find love? Like all of this comes into play. And what really kicked it up for me was being a young guy, seeing these gentlemen hairless. I was like, oh, maybe I am kind of, as back in the day with Fruity, like maybe I am kind of gay, because they were really sexy back in the day, hairless and muscle, and like I'm not into feet, but that one of those where I wrestled with no boots, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. Like,
yeah, but the thing is that they wrestle in Speedos, and
that part too.
They're still doing it now, and it's not weird to them. And I find it interesting how like in life when you go out wearing a Speedo, like you're a weirdo.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Like, you've been watching wrestling your whole life. That dude is half naked
all
and
day,
they grab each
all
other.
day, and they're grabbing each other and everything.
Yeah.
So are we going to see the movie?
Yes.
Absolutely, yes. That movie.
All right, I'll mute for me. Next, each week at It's Happening Out, we ask our hosts about what's important to them. But the twist is that it must be in just 30 seconds, or you will hear me scream and yell like a crazy Latina. We call this segment What's on Your Mind, and it's sponsored by Jets Pizza. Jets is the LGBTQ plus pizza of choice. What is on our mind is the deep dish Detroit style pizza, or perhaps the cauliflower thin crust pizza. Jets Pizza has been with It's Happening Out for 4 years, and their Bigger is Better campaign captured our attention. And of course, they're talking about their slices. What did you think we were talking about? Look how big those slices are. Jets supports a huge variety of LGBTQ plus events and nonprofits. With more than 400 locations nationwide, they're considered one of the best franchise opportunities in America. And this is why Jets Gets Pizza is our sponsor of What's on My Mind. All right, Kal Gajraj, what is on your mind? We're going to start with you, my friend.
All right, so I know we just got through the Thanksgiving holiday and we had, all the sales that come along with it, the Black Friday and Cyber Monday and Small Business Saturday. So I decided I never really go shopping in the mall, but I always buy stuff online. So this time around, I decided to buy a Roomba for my mom.
Nice.
So it arrived and it's so funny because my mom is one of those typical Caribbean moms who she cleans every single day, stuff like that. I was what do you mean, I can clean better than this machine does? So I set it up at her house and I did the whole thing with the app and everything.
But it's not Christmas yet. You already gave it to her.
I already gave it because she's gonna get something else, but as long as she was always I couldn't wait.
I love it. Yes.
But the other day I was at the house and the Roomba's going around, but she's sweeping. And I'm
you don't trust the Roomba?
And I'm what exactly are you doing? And she's I'm helping it. So she sweeps things to the middle of the room so the Roomba can get it. And I'm that's not how this works. The whole idea is for the Roomba to do the work.
It's like a dustpan.
You don't have to, yeah. So now her and the Roomba,
they're best friends. They're friends.
Yeah. She's I think my side is cleaner than yours, Roomie there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So.
All right, Elimination, what's on your mind, my friend?
Oh my gosh, so on my mind is my people. Black people are on my mind. Let me start by saying, let's take a moment and recognize Queen Latifah.
Yes.
Being recognized at the Kennedy Center Honors, the first queer, first black woman rap artist to be
a lot of firsts.
The first black rap artist to be giving a Kennedy Center honor, and the fact that she's queer, the fact that she took all of us with her to that room, to that stage, to that moment, I think it's tremendous. Yeah. Let's take a note. Her first record was in 1989, and she's been in the business.
Really?
UNITY?
She's been in the business for a long and doing her thing. She was an entrepreneur, Flavor Unit. She given a lot of folks their moments. Grammy Award winner, Golden Globe Award winner. I think we need to take a moment and realize our trailblazer, our queer member. Let's also talk about Elle Magazine, Fantasia, Danielle Brooks, Taraji P. Henson, all them shades of beautiful black and brown on Elle Magazine.
The color purple.
The color purple represents
love it. And it's not Black History Month or anything, okay? It is December,
Can't wait. And before you throw me off my mind, let's talk about how Black Twitter roasted crazy ass our governor. The moment that Florida State didn't win the championship, he made a whole post. He was sad about them making it. He forgot about FAMU not making the moment, not celebrating them being representing in a whole national bowl, a whole national title. It took him 3 days to say, oh, by the way, congratulations, FAMU. By the way. And so Black Twitter was hold on, why did it take you 3 days? Did one of your people nudge you? Did somebody say, hey, you forgot that school right down the street? Did you forgot about us? So my people, I love you not only for your beautifulness, but for your come strong with it, your elbow, hold them accountable, recognize all of this. And let's just circle back, Queen Latifah, who on the BET stage, you and I talked about this on the show on Monday, how in black communities, we don't recognize the beauty that is queer. And Queen Latifah, on 2021 at the BET Awards, recognized her partner and her son on national TV. Yeah. That's amazing.
Well, and that was something that I was going to mention. Thank you for sharing your What's on My Mind Elimination. That's what I was going to say about Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah is one of those people. Okay, Queen Latifah sent me bottles of champagne at Liquid nightclub. That just tells you how old, how long ago this was. All right, in the late 90s, and it's one of those things where Queen Latifah, everybody knew she was gay, right? And it was
nobody
one of those,
though.
But she never. That's what I'm saying. Everybody knew she was gay, but it was never anything that she had to present and publicly. All right. Yeah. Now, because I was on the fence in 2021, I was happy that she had spotlighted her woman and her kid and all that, and then the other half of me was like, where the fuck were you 20 years ago? You know what I mean? I needed you to come out when I was trying to come out, trying to figure it out, because I knew your ass was gay, right? And you obviously knew I was gay, right? So I just, I wish she would have come out sooner.
On her own time, though.
But she deserves all the flowers,
And I want to say, just kind of piggyback on it, there was a time in the world where we couldn't as black and brown, and so I took children, but I want to see the children at Kennedy Center. And I told my children then, I was like, we're going to have someone that looks like us, that's been through our trials and tribulations, that's going to make it to this building one day. And when I saw her and I realized that New Jersey moment, that hood moment, like all of those things.
That's amazing.
Yep.
That my children now, that are now grown adults, can remember that Mr. Green's, that Elimination said that was going to happen.
I love that.
Right,
UNITY. Oh my God, that song is old as hell.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Elimination. 89. You know, John was only 2.
She was responsible for Trek.
Yes, I was.
Jonathan Casanas, Mr. Birthday Boy himself, celebrating the big 4-0. I'm not going to put more years on you because you don't look 40, honey. You look amazing.
Well, I look tired because I've been partying, but
I mean, there's that part. Yeah.
But I did learn a lot already.
What's on your mind, my friend? I'm sorry.
Last few days, I've learned a lot. You know, it's like as you grow older, you're like, what's going to change? Like, what's going to be like the hardest thing for me? And I realized like getting older, basically, as we were talking about earlier, is just trying not to piss on yourself. Like, as we get older, like, you know, we have penises, right? So like, we have to go to the bathroom, we got to shake. And that's a weird thing already to have to do. Like, you got a flimsy limb hanging off your body that you have to shake off. Like, at least when you're in the bathroom, you got, you know, women can just toilet paper it up.
Pat, we're good.
What happens is you shake, 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 and you're like, you're good. And then you walk away and you got drip. And you're like, oh, I don't want to put myself. You go back, and then you shake, 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 and you put it back in your pants. Then when you go back to wherever you are, you take a sit down, a seat, drips. You're like, I think I'm just getting too old. Like, fighting piss is like what I've learned at getting older is literally I might have to wear a diaper is what I'm trying to say.
No, it just means go get your prostate checked out. That's all, honey.
You have to go see
That's
a
all it
urologist.
means, okay?
Urologist.
So you know what it is? Just take a little extra harder. Cause I'm that guy who never wears underwear and gray sweats.
Yeah.
You gotta shake a little harder.
I shake.
You wait a moment.
How do you shake it?
You wait a minute.
Elimination?
You shake it. Then you wait a moment. Then you shake it.
Something else might happen.
You make sure
shake it.
You squeeze. You got squeeze. You make sure it's all out. Yes.
That deserves a shot.
If you're in the public bathroom, they're like, are you playing with
Right.
And you're like, no, you want to help me, bro?
That's another kick, yes.
You want to help me, bro?
Anyway,
that's how it starts.
Anyway.
That's all I've learned.
And also on our minds is the great Jets Pizza.
Take a look around these streets. Do you really think we woke up one day and said, yeah, the world needs more pizza? Nah, just a better one. Better, like the world's best pizza. Jets Detroit-style pizza. Hand-pressed and baked to the thickest, crispiest crunch. You're welcome. Now visit jetspizza.com and save. Click on hot deals for special offers in your area. Jets, better because it has to be.
Thank you very much, Jets Pizza. So our Hotspots magazine will be celebrating 39 years this fall, and it has been documenting the LGBTQ plus lifestyle and is the inspiration of our Hotspots queer entertainment segment this week. There is more bisexual representation in mainstream media, and we love to see it. In 2023, Bradley Cooper is once again doing director-actor double duty in Maestro, an upcoming drama about bisexual conductor Leonard Bernstein and his wife. This is his second ever movie as a director, following 2018's A Star is Born, starring, of course, Miss Lady Gaga. In the first teaser released by Netflix, Cooper and Gideon Glick's characters can be seen caressing each other. In another moment, at the theater, Bernstein is holding the hand of a man while his wife is sitting on the other side of him. At the Bernstein Kennedy Center Honors Award, Lauren Bacall said of the West Side Story composer, quote, "He's a conductor, composer of Broadway musicals, symphonies, lecturer, teacher, pianist, and Renaissance man. And his gift is for making music accessible to all of us," end quote. Queer fans of Bradley Cooper are excited to see what he has to offer in this new movie. Watch this.
If summer doesn't sing in you, then nothing sings in you. And if nothing sings in you, then you can't make music. Something she told me.
Hello, I'm Lenny.
Hello, Felicia.
Oh, she's so beautiful. Tell me about her. Oh, she's wonderful. She's a lovely girl.
What age are we living in? One can be as free as one likes without guilt or confession. Please, I know exactly who you are.
He can be the first great American conductor.
There's a price for being in my brother's orbit, you know that.
me to be alone. That music, it keeps me glued to life.
I don't even know how much you need me to.
I might.
If summer doesn't sing in you, then nothing sings in you. And if nothing sings in you, then you can't make music.
The Hotspots Queer Entertainment is Bradley Cooper's $90 million Netflix queer movie Maestro is coming on December 20th. What do we think? What do we think? What do we think?
I'm super excited about this, especially going back to the whole classical world. Like Leonard Bernstein has been instrumental, like you mentioned before, with like West Side Story.
What else?
And, you know, a dozen other
what else?
musicals.
Like,
and,
what, like...
You know, the orchestra like that he, you know, in New York that he was part of. But I'm really happy that they're telling this like bisexual side of the story, because these stories have to be told. It's kind of like the Whitney Houston movie, because a lot of people didn't know that side of her. So now it sheds a light to this inside life, you know, of this genius who conducted. And, you know, one of the things I absolutely loved most about this role that Bradley Cooper is playing is that he took years actually studying Leonard Bernstein, and also just the movements,
his mannerisms and
the
stuff.
mannerisms of being a maestro, to be able to film seconds, you know, in the movie, just to get the coordination down, you know, just to be able to not get criticized by the classical audience. So I think that's just incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this would have been a great question for Trini, you know, since this is what he does as well, right? And our friend Dale Stein, when he conducts, he gets all in it, where he's jumping and he's doing all kinds of stuff, but some kind of syncrecy has to happen for that to, you know, for that to occur. Do we bash Bradley Cooper at all for this being his second movie, and again, it's not anything original?
So no,
Jesus, that's this.
No, I don't. I mean, do we not care?
I don't think so, because I think these biopics. I mean, there is a stunning like resemblance towards Leonard Bernstein, and like it's kind of eerie, you know, to be able to encompass that character.
And these stories are needed. Like to your point about the whole bisexuality thing, we need to share these stories, because folks for some reason think that this is brand new, and they think that we need to also share about the dynamic of the wife knowing about the side piece, and understanding that there may be rules. Like we saw it in a trailer, how she looked. You cannot share that all three of them were at the opera at the moment at the same time, in the theater at the same time, and she not know something. She might have had her glimmer. She got the moment that it was confirmed.
Yeah.
And she probably knew, but it was like, not in front of me. Do it on your own.
No, but she's a lady.
And she's a lady, and don't disrespect me.
Exactly.
And I think that was, again, part of the time, and understanding how men had to operate. We talked about how both looked through the magazines to get their queer moments, those moments, whereas he's living life out proud, but sneaking at the same time. I also like how they go from the nostalgia to the color, like the black and white to the color.
I love that.
And the brilliance of, like, you can see the timeline, where often, I think sometimes movies have a hard time developing the timeline, where we can clearly see the evidence of it. And so I think that all of those are positives. And so we can't necessarily bash that moment of not recreating new, but identifying that these stories are important to our culture.
They are.
We're not getting, and I haven't seen it yet, right? This is actually the first time
it comes out December.
But what I know about Bradley Cooper, following his work, and any interview or podcast he's on, I'm listening to it, and he's a serious artist. So if he does anything, there's a lot more meaning than you think. The subcontext is going to blow you away versus what's actually on the screen. Like just that one moment where you can see she's disturbed by that moment in the audience that he's holding,
where he grabs the other gentleman's hand.
We immediately knew that there was a lot more at stake there than we thought. That's what Bradley Cooper's about. So anything he does, he's putting his almighty effort in.
He's definitely come a long way from The Hangover.
Oh, no, but that's even before
but that's the thing. You know, he's one of the most nominated actors and directors. he has like 20-something nominations. He's like up there with Meryl Streep. It's not a joke. Like this dude, he doesn't have the wins.
Yeah.
But he has all the nominations. It's insane.
And he's gorgeous. I mean, but that transformation, like you said, is freaking and then like Kal said that he's studying him because he wants to get the mannerisms down and he wants to be able to pay good homage to this gentleman,
Exactly.
There's so many things. It's like an onion, right? Like so many parts that I would love to see because as musical heads that me and Kal are, like that part of it like totally entices me. But then also as a woman, it's like, oh, okay, the woman knew her role and, she had an understanding with her husband maybe.
No, but there's power there, right? I know another couple, I know very, very near and close to me, where the husband is bisexual, but the one in control is really her. She's allowing it because they got children.
Yeah.
Like she says
when. She says when kind
100%.
of deal. Got it.
She could close it or you can walk. I'm allowing you to have this experience. And if you want me a part of the experience, we can all get down.
Got it. But don't disrespect me. But don't make me look stupid. Don't make me look stupid. Don't make my kids look stupid.
Yes.
Okay, and we're fine. Everybody's got the understanding and we're good.
And to that point, the thing about it, so we saw opportunities throughout this movie where they met as young folks and they had their moment in that field. So we clearly know that field means something. And they revisit that field time and time again. But we also see where him and that gentleman have had moments and she's caught them more than one time. And so I think to that point, the power realizes where we can know from what we know about history is women will bring their men in. It's like, let's have a conversation. Which you do outside, but never disrespect me, never disrespect home.
Yeah, but also hold up.
And the power.
They didn't have a voice.
But at home,
remember the time.
Yeah. Remember the time, but inside of closed doors, don't disrespect me because when we're out in public, we have to save face because they have a true love story and to keep our love alive is what all of this happens and during that time.
And stories like this really legitimize bisexuality because bisexuals do exist. And I know that sometimes we make fun of it, and everyone's like, oh no, that they're actually gay. But I know a lot of bisexual guys who aren't comfortable with the term, and they get married and they have girlfriends.
And to them, they're not bisexual.
And they're not bisexual.
Use the term and that's it.
Because they don't like the term. But stories like this legitimize it and give them, something, a purpose to believe in.
But and it's important. And it's important to not forget that happened,
the thing is, you always have to choose a side at the end, and that's the part that sucks because not a lot of couples are open to thruples.
Yeah.
So when you choose a side, that's it. And the almighty is always going to be, well, society says I should be married as a man to a woman. So then that is kind of in the back burner. But if your wife, like this lady, because as I understand it through what you guys were telling me, allows it, now it becomes a different dynamic. Now you're allowed to explore that bisexuality. But before, you weren't able to, and those dynamics weren't really a real thing.
Yeah.
So nobody wanted to be gay. No, they'd rather be straight and have kids and then fuck on the side.
Yep. Yeah. Okay, now, does everybody agree that this makes Leonard Bernstein even more interesting?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely,
All
yeah.
right, okay. We'll all be, and the wife, right? So next, we are proud of our special partnership with Sunshine Cathedral, the world's largest queer church right here in Fort Lauderdale. Supporting that partnership, we're broadcasting from our permanent set here at Sunshine Cathedral at the Happening Out Television Studios. We broadcast Sunshine Cathedral Sunday International Service at 10:30 a.m. every week.
With your people.
So now let's discuss our hot topic this week. Since the pandemic, we've been hearing from everybody that everybody wants to work remotely, right? Mm-hmm. And perhaps that's not true. A steamy new survey has revealed that a staggering number of U.S. workers have hooked up with someone on the job. adult toy brand Love Honey polled 2017 American adults about their love lives and found a whooping 40% of respondents admitting that they have had sex and or a romantic relationship with a coworker. Shockingly, 11% admitted that they got kinky with a colleague while they were in a relationship with someone else, and 9% of those were married. All right. While those stats might not surprise some, relationship expert Dr. Jessica O'Reilly says there are obvious reasons why coworkers are drawn to one another. What could be these reasons? Well, this week's hot topic is a new survey says 40% of all male workers have had sex at work. Have you? All right. So, so it's Christmas time. It's December, right? So everybody has their holiday party now. And then that person comes without the wife or comes without the husband and gets a couple drinks in them. All of a sudden, that guy in the office that you've always thought was cute wants to have a little dance with you, and some things happen. That's the reason why a lot of people have canceled and not had holiday parties, because things happen between their employees, and it's hard to mix up that bowl of shit that happens when you sleep with your coworker.
Oh, it's a huge HR issue.
It's a huge HR issue, right?
That's why you can't be grown as fuck and just leave that. Like, you do it and don't talk about it.
You're right. You don't talk
But you
to
gotta
anybody
ruin
about
it
it.
for everybody. I've had experiences. When I was single, I had sex with my boss. And they moved on. I used to sing at the Florida Grand Opera, and we had a holiday event type of thing.
And you had a holiday event.
I had a holiday event with my maestro, and it was super fun and casual, and we left at that. Never talked about it again. It was like a fun little like secret, like just a little wink that I used to get while I was on stage. But people tend to take it further. They ruin relationships. They bring it up to another coworker in the office, and that's when people start to talk. And you can get fired essentially for stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's definitely it's frowned upon. You just got to do it the right way.
You have to do it without talking, without being a big mouth and talking shit about it. The reality is that you're at work sometimes more than you are at home.
But we spend so much time with
and
our
so
coworkers.
and I don't know about you boys, but I mean, I've heard everybody say, "Oh, my work wife, my work husband," right? Everybody's got their work wife, their work husband.
That's
my work, my work husband is David Hopkins, and look how sexy is how he is. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So you have, who you work with, and who knows your shit inside and out, right? And then sometimes that gets confused because like you really like this person, but they're your coworker, but you don't eat where you shit. What is it? You don't eat where you shit. You don't eat where you shit. Like that's
where you eat.
That's a bad idea.
Right. So I can, in my many moons, so this was very targeting.
Oh, how did we
triggering
not
for me?
know?
Oh my God.
When you were masseuing?
No.
Is that a term?
I've shared with you, my life in sex and how, but I remember I had to think about this in preparation for this part of the segment. And I remember as a young adult playing with a woman in a car because we just got off work. She couldn't go home. She was married. I wasn't. I was like loving the thrill. And so we're being outside of a parking lot, outside of a building, an abandoned building, and playing in a car. And then I also remember being a professional and playing with my boss or soon-to-be colleague. We were equal levels. And then how all of those things can either mess up, especially if someone get wind, or if someone thinks that you would now have too much favoritism, and then they throw a wrench in it, and then throw the thing that they're sexing each other, and then HR gets involved, and then that messes the whole gamut up of situations, and how that can. People lose his job.
Completely, but that's why you gotta stay quiet.
And then you gotta stay quiet. But the thing is, you can't wink. You gotta really. But then people get jealous because you don't get that attention. Like I don't get that raise, so you automatically sleeping together, especially if they think that you're gay, which is a misnomer.
That's all I was thinking. And let me tell you something. I'm in HR. I've been in HR 15 years now. HR people are the worst. HR people are sicker than every other employee in that motherfucking company. Firsthand, I can tell you.
Okay.
But it is very true about talking and spreading that and acting as if it happened. You can no longer talk about it. One thing I will say, the best scenario, and I know this can sound really fucked up, the best scenario is when those two people are married, have a family, and do not want to leave their partners.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they know what's at risk, so they're having fun.
And they stay the fuck quiet.
And they stay quiet. Absolutely.
And they stay quiet.
Because they're both.
And that's it.
There is risk on both sides.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you don't even look. You don't even wink.
No,
you just keep
but
it moving.
that's it. Like, I also slept with a coworker, and that's when I was doing overnights, right? And that's the best time to do it. So you're doing it, you're having sex in the studio.
Like at work.
Of a radio station at work, like let me play that next song. Hold on, mama. Hold on.
Yes.
ass is on the control. Okay. Like that, you know? But again, it's like nobody's going to talk about that shit. And with girls, we're easier to disimular, right? Because girls can be on each other and it's not like, you know, like they're not effing. You know what I mean? Where we were just normal colleagues the rest of the time and nobody would ever know that I was slapping that ass. You know, so again, at the end of the day, women are better at staying quiet when it comes to that kind of stuff, which is why we don't get caught when we're cheating as much as boys do. So if you're gonna do it, be discreet, right?
Until you get hurt.
And make sure that everybody's on the same page.
Yes.
And don't fall in love.
Don't
fall in love.
Until you get hurt.
Don't fall in love because then
the moment you get hurt, then diarrhea in the mouth is like, boosh,
How about you, Kal? Kal, have you slept with anyone at work?
So like you said, I have had experiences at previous workplaces.
I thought you were going to say now I'm like remote.
No,
I'm like, what's going on remote?
Yeah, remote with myself.
Well, I had done a lunchy cookie a few times remotely.
Yeah, no, definitely with some coworkers. No one that was like a supervisor or like an employee of mine, but you know, we were like on the same page, you know, and it was definitely like a conversation that we had, like, you know, that we both were on the same page.
You both want this. That's it.
That's key. You know, like, and it wasn't while I was in a relationship, you know, but, you know, things happen. Like I said before, you know, you spend so much time with your coworkers.
Yeah.
Like, they do become your work wives and your work husbands. We spend more time with our colleagues than we do with our own family and friends sometimes. So, you know, things happen at work.
Wait, what was the question? Are we want to be remote or?
No. Have we been hooking up at work? Just that's it. No, do we want to? Because I still want to be remote. I want to do the show from my house, and I don't know.
I want to be remote.
I still have had sex in the office. Maybe not with a colleague, but I still brought someone in. Grindr's amazing. Like if I'm in the office by myself and I'm like, hey,
when you're remote, it's even
better.
When you're remote, oh my gosh, yes, absolutely. A lunchtime, be here at 12. We're gonna knock it down and then send you on your way.
Security, like
I've done it during.
I don't want it at my house.
Just keep this part up.
Oh baby, I've done office
from the Ring doorbell to like there's a lot going on. No,
I've done a yoga mat in the office with nobody else.
Standing up, however, you're good.
You can make it work. Absolutely.
I love it. Everybody, picture it.
Sicily.
All right. Well, that's it, folks. Another week with It's Happening Out. You sat right here at the LGBTQ plus kitchen table as we kikied on the things that are super important to our community. We love you for allowing us to come into your spaces every Wednesday evening. But I wanted to take a moment to acknowledge the wonderful, the beautiful human being, the talented and also hot, and he's got a huge penis, Mr. Jonathan Casanas, and wish him happy birthday. I love that you were looking everywhere else, but with you're like, who's she talking about? You know, Jonathan, happy birthday. Many more. Understand that you are a pivotal part of this cast.
Absolutely.
That from day one, your addition to these shows are just so superb. They're funny. You're just so talented, and you need to know that. Okay, we love that you've made us part of your world and that you include us in your life.
You guys.
You're a friend, you're a family, and now you're stuck with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
So happy birthday, Jonathan, to many more.
Happy birthday. I appreciate it.
So folks at home, we invite you to follow our 501c3 nonprofit experiment. Is our community important to you? Our mission means that we deeply believe it is. Thank you for joining us and taking a little time to have some fun with us. I'm FayWhat.
It happened again.
What the hell is that?
It's
something. I don't know.
It's in your bag or something. You just open it up and close it. Like,
really
where is it?
It's just the reverb.
It's really weird.
It's Alexa.
Wow.
Right.
And remember, if it's happening to you, it's happening out. Until next time, world, we love you. Buenas noches.
Good night.
Yeah.